Hi, I'm Midge Shoemaker, and today is day 26 of making 100 days of YouTube videos and a gratitude list. So, yay! I made it to day 26, and not entirely sure what I'm going to talk about today, other than things that I am grateful for. I feel grateful that things seem to be falling into place a little bit, but I'm also realizing that I need to maybe be a little bit more consistent with my schedule. Like, I need to get a consistent schedule because now I'm consistently reading scriptures and meditationals, consistently writing in my journal, consistently making YouTube videos. I just don't have a consistent time of day in which I do that. And I don't seem to be getting a consistent amount of sleep. So I'll sleep for like 4 or 5 hours and then I'll do stuff and then I'll sleep and then I'll. So my days and nights and sleep schedules all mixed up. And I've done that before when I was much younger and it didn't bother me quite as much as it does now. So I think it would be beneficial for me to have a regular schedule. And I keep thinking about that in my head, which means I need to be a little bit more consistent. But I have concerns and I'm trying to remember that God is in control and that He's going to help me with this because I don't want my perfectionism to kick in. I don't want that all or nothing idea to kick in because I have that tendency to be like, okay, I'm going to do it this way, and then I have to do it exactly that way. And then if I don't do it exactly the way that I said I was going to, then I failed miserably and life is over and I'm done and I just can't do it. And that's a horrible attitude. That's a horrible response. That's my trained response. That is my first response. And I have to remind myself that I can have a second response, that I don't have to give up. So my schedule doesn't have to be rigid. It can be basic schedule. It can have some gaps, some extra time to do things, and it can be flexible. That's the word I'm looking for. I can have a flexible schedule. It doesn't have to be exact, but I want something that's about the same. So, within an hour of each other, I want to start doing certain things. Like exercising. I need to start exercising so that I'm not so stiff and sore. And so that I actually sleep better when I exercise. So that's a good thing. It kind of gets whatever out of my system, extra energies, things. And then I sleep better too. So exercise is something I need to be doing. Also, I need to set a time specifically to work on my writing or marketing or whatever it is that I'm doing towards my books and getting published. So whether I'm doing research on how to do that, whether I'm formatting, whether I'm writing something new, or figuring out marketing or something, I need to have a time set aside to do that. Again, it doesn't have to be the exact same time, but I need to have a time set aside to do that. And I feel like the better I'm getting and the more grateful I am for my life and the better that I view myself, the better I want my circumstances, the better I want my surroundings to be. So I've been living here for like 6 months and I haven't unpacked. So now I want to start unpacking and start making my house look like a home instead of just living out of boxes because I've been too depressed to do anything, which is sad, but it's true. That's how I've been. I have been despondent because things haven't worked out the way that I wanted them to, so then I'm just not doing anything, which is so sad because I can do so many other things, just maybe not what I want to do. And I think that's what God has been trying to tell me, that it's like, Midge, look the other way. There is something else for you, the other direction. So just let go of what's not working and focus on what does work. So I am trying to shift my focus to what it is that God wants me to do. And I'm also learning that by doing what God wants me to do, it's a way of saying thank you or showing my appreciation to Him for all the blessings and gifts that He gives me. And then, of course, He blesses me with more gifts and things. So it's one of those things, I think it says in the scriptures, it doesn't matter how much you serve, your entire life will be unprofitable servants. But God still loves each of us anyway, and He blesses us for our efforts, which I think to me is kind of a selfish reason for doing it. But it's like, hey, if He's going to bless me to do it, I'm going to keep doing it because I like the blessings that I get from it. So He wants us to feel good about what we're doing. He wants to encourage us to continue to do things by giving us blessings for things and discourage us from doing the wrong things by, negative consequences to those things. But so, yeah. But I mean, sometimes it's difficult, and I know with like my depression and things, sometimes I think it's a chemical issue in my brain if I'm not taking my um, antidepressants, those DDR prime essential oils, or if I'm not taking something to work on that, my depression can take over, and I just can't do things. But it's also, I have a choice. I kind of give into it a lot when I'm depressed or discouraged. So the medication helps me not to give in so easily, or to at least see that I have the option to not give into it. And focusing on things that I'm grateful for, doing these gratitude lists has been really helpful to me. And journaling has been an amazing thing for me. I haven't done that consistently for years, which is really sad because it really is something that helps me process. It helps me put things in perspective. It helps me see all the good things that are happening in my life. It helps me feel good about myself, and it helps me to just let go of the crappy stuff, the stuff that just didn't work out, the stuff that just really isn't as important as I thought it was. And it helps me to figure out what I'm feeling, why I'm feeling that way, and if I need to do something about that, or if I can just be like, okay, that's great, I feel this way, and we're just going to let it go and move on. Or there's nothing I can do about it. Or, maybe there is something I can do and I need to fix it. And all of this is reminding me once again that I need to face things that are bothering me, because if I face them, I deal with it, then it's not holding on to me. It's not weighing me down. It's not preventing me from doing other things, because apparently my personality is as such that if I avoid one thing, I can't do anything else until that one thing is done. So then absolutely nothing gets done. Or I do a whole bunch of other things to avoid the one thing. So sometimes it can be productive because I'll do a whole lot of other things. But most of the time, if I'm avoiding one thing, I do a whole lot of other non-productive things to avoid the one thing. And then once I face the one thing I'm not doing, then all of a sudden all the other stuff that wasn't getting done starts getting done. So maybe as I'm facing myself and my emotions, the mess around me is starting to bother me. And I'm like, okay, I need to start cleaning this up. I need to start fixing this. I need to start fixing that. And then, of course, I still have that tendency to think, well, it's just going to happen overnight. And it doesn't happen overnight. So then I'm like, okay, well, let me plan for the next 6 months. And I, start thinking in my head how my life is going to be 6 months from now, which is nice to picture what my end goal is going to be. But I don't know if it's going to take 6 months or 6 years to get there. I hope it doesn't take 6 years to get there, but I have no idea. I don't know what the future is going to hold. I mean, I don't even know how long it's going to take to publish my book. I would love to say by the end of my 100 days, I will be able to hold up a copy of my book that's been published and be like, here, you guys can buy it if you want to. And look, I actually finished a book. But I don't know. Right now, I'm still waiting and thinking it's probably going to take, the next 25 days or something to hear back from all the people I sent my book to for beta readers. And then I have to go through and revise all of that and figure out the whole editing process. And that could take another 25 days or something. I don't know. And then, of course, the whole publishing process. So I'm like, well, I'm hoping that because, I still have 75 days, 74 days, whatever, to finish to do that. So it's might actually be possible, but since I've never done this before and I'm learning and I'm bound to make mistakes because I have no idea what I'm doing, it may take longer than that. And I mean, it'll help give me an idea based on this book that I started writing over a year ago. I finally finished. It took me a year to write it. Gonna maybe take a year to publish it. I have no idea, but at least then I'll know for my next book, which I can also, make time to start working on while I'm waiting for responses back for this book. So I know I have other things that I can work on and things that I can do. I don't have to just sit and wait, which is something else I've done a lot of in my life, just waiting for other people to tell me what to do, waiting for someone else to come around so I don't have to do things by myself. Just whatever it is, I don't know. Waiting for Prince Charming to come and rescue me. That's probably never going to happen. So obviously, going to rescue myself. I'm going to let God help me because I don't know what I'm doing. But I know that I can have a very productive and happy life whether I have Prince Charming or not. So if I find one, that would be great too. But I know that I can be happy with what I'm doing in my life, and I can be grateful for what I have, and that I can focus on the things that are working and continue to work towards the things that the direction that God is pointing me in, and know that my life will be good and productive, and I can be proud of myself, and that hopefully I can share my gifts and talents and things that I'm learning with other people, so that you guys can be happy and full of gratitude too, because God wants us to be happy, and He wants us to love ourselves, and He wants us to love everyone else, and to see ourselves the way that He sees us. And He sees us as these beautiful creations. He made us. He created us in His image, and He wants us to be like Him. He wants us to be happy. He wants us to develop the talents that we have been given. He wants us to share those talents with other people so we can balance each other out. He made each of us different and unique because it was fun to see all the different things He could create in different people. It's like, this is cool. I have a creative mind, so I kind of think that way, and I create different attitudes and things with my characters because they kind of play off of each other, and it's fun. So I imagine God had some fun doing that too. And He wants us to have fun getting to know each other and learning from each other. And that's kind of the point of life is learning from each other, and loving and learning to get closer to God, and understanding our purpose, and using our talents. And I'm learning this, and it's probably a lifetime lesson, and it's going to take me a lifetime to learn, and I may never get it right, but I'm going to keep trying anyway. And I'm grateful that I can keep trying. I'm grateful that I don't give up, and I'm grateful I'm able to make this video, and I'm grateful that every time I make this video and start focusing on all the things I'm grateful for, it gives me a better attitude for the rest of my day. So I like doing this at the beginning of my day, and then I like being able to write in my journal at the end of my day and make a list of gratitude things, because it just means I start and end at least in a place of gratitude, and then it kind of helps me through the rest of my day to be okay and positive. And yeah, I still have my negative thoughts and negative moments, and I'm learning a lot of that happens when I don't eat regularly. So it's like, oh, if I eat, I feel better, because I get that whole hangry thing going where hungry and angry comes in. It's like I'm hungry, and then I just start getting ornery and angry, and I'm like, what am I so upset about? It's like, oh yeah, I haven't had anything to eat. So this process is teaching me that I need to pay attention to myself, and I need to take better care of myself. But again, that's a process. Those are things that I can work on and do. And so I'm trying, and today I did a little better. I went grocery shopping and bought food instead of going out to eat for every meal, which is a huge improvement for me. I'm like, yay. And then I can have stuff to take with me to go to work, so that I don't have to buy stuff, and then I don't have to go long periods without eating, waiting for a break, because I can just have it with me, my little snackies. So I'm very excited about that too. So I'm just grateful that things are working out and falling into place, and it's not happening overnight. It's not going to, and I will probably get through all of these videos and still have 100 things on my list that I want to change about myself, or that I want to start implementing into my day as a routine or something. But I do need to start a routine, so maybe by the end of this 100 days, I'll have a nice consistent routine that consists of writing and exercising and YouTube videos and reading my scriptures and meditationals and making gratitude lists. So these are all things that I can be grateful for, things that I can look forward to doing, and hopefully also have like a regular sleep schedule. That would be nice too. So anyway, this is kind of where I'm at on my day 26, with more ideas of things that I want to do to change, and grateful for the ideas, and grateful to know that I don't have to implement everything this moment, and that even when I do start doing it, it doesn't have to be perfect. I don't have to worry about fitting in a little box and being rigid. I can still be flexible, and I can still just let things happen the way that feels best for me, or what works for me for the day. And every day is going to be a little bit different, and that's okay. It's supposed to be. Variety is the spice of life, right? And I need some variety and spice in my life, because I don't like to feel boring. I don't like to be boring and repetitious. So hopefully these videos aren't boring or repetitious to anyone watching them. And that's all I have for today. So thank you. If you like, go ahead and click like, subscribe, share if you want to, and I hope you have a great day full of gratitude.